everybody, welcome to my review of Season 3, Episode 19 of Little Women Atlanta. If you haven't seen this episode yet, this video will act like a spoiler, so you might want to watch this video later. The name of this episode is Cruise Control. The episode begins with some footage from the end of last episode. The ladies are on a yacht, and the twins' manager tells them that they will be doing more traveling. Andrea just gets all upset and she has to excuse herself, and Amanda follows her. Andrea is upset and she said that she's tired of doing all that traveling and being away from her kids. In the commentary, Amanda says the way Andrea is acting is making them look bad, and that's not a good time to act out in front of their manager. Andrea says she doesn't know if she can handle being away from her kids, even though it's a good opportunity. Amanda says that she needs Andrea and can't do things on her own, and she understands that Andrea misses her kids. Amanda begins to cry. Amanda says that Andrea needs to think about her too. Andrea says she will try to keep her sister in mind. In the next scene, the ladies are getting ready to go on a cruise ship, which is going to the Bahamas, since the twins have a gig to host on the cruise. They take some group pictures, then they go separate ways to check out their rooms. Andrea goes with Juicy to check out Juicy's room. In the commentary, Juicy says that she knows Andrea is missing her kids. She's putting on a brave face, but she's worried about her. Juicy asks Andrea what's going on with her sister. Andrea says they had a talk, and she doesn't know about doing all that traveling because she's starting to miss Aubrey. She says it's starting to hit home and starting to get real. She says she's trying to have a good time, but she still misses her kids. In the commentary, Andrea says she doesn't know what to do about everything. She feels frustrated with herself, and she doesn't want to let anyone down. Juicy says that Andrea wanted to be in entertainment, so there will be a lot of sacrifices that she'll have to make. And she reminds her that she'll be able to provide for her family, and as time passes, things will get easier. The cruise ship begins to move. Tanya asks the ladies if they have been out of the country before. Money says that she's been on a cruise to Cozumel. Juicy says that she's been on a cruise to the Bahamas in the past. And Sam says she's been to Puerto Rico. The twins host their first event on the boat. They play Twister, hula hoop, limbo, and do all kinds of dancing with the cruise ship passengers. And it looks like everybody had a good time. Later, the ladies go out to dinner. Andrea asks Money if she's talked to Moreland lately. Money says that she did, and she misses him, and she wishes he could be there with her on the cruise. Minnie asks Andrea if everything's okay with her, since she was upset the day before. Andrea says that she feels overwhelmed, and she feels like she's been away from her kids for a long time. Andrea gets up, starts crying, and leaves the table. Seeing her sister break down makes Amanda cry. Tanya goes and talks to Andrea and comforts her. Tanya says that she knows how she feels. Andrea says that she feels bad because she isn't able to take her son to his doctor's appointments, and he's always asking for her. She mentions how, when she goes back home, she won't be able to take her son with her. Tanya says Andrea is doing the right thing, and sometimes the right thing hurts. Back at the table, Amanda explains to the ladies that her sister doesn't want Andre to feel some type of way when she takes her daughter with her to Atlanta and not him. She says she's missing out also because that's her nephew. Andrea says it hurts seeing her sister cry and seeing people talk mess because her sister's son is in a different city than her. And she says that they have no idea what's going on. Juicy says that Andrea needs to believe in herself, and she needs to know that what she's doing is right for her child and her family. Minnie says that when Aubrey and Andre get older, they will understand what Andrea sacrificed for. Tanya tells Andrea that she's doing the right thing for her children. Tanya gets a little emotional. In the commentary, Tanya says that she and Andrea haven't always seen eye to eye, but they have one thing in common. They love their family. Tanya tells Andrea that she's there for her. The next day, the ladies go on a tour bus which takes them to the beach. They go on the beach and get in the water. The water is just blue and beautiful. Juicy says that she feels like she died and went to heaven. Money says that she had a chance to speak to Moreland, and she says that they're missing each other. Tanya asks Andrea if she's doing okay. Andrea says yes, and she thanks Tanya for talking to her the night before. and she feels a little better. Tanya says at the dinner when she saw Andrea running away, it hit her in her heart. In the commentary, Tanya says that she knows that it's hard for Andrea to be away from her kids, especially because she can't raise them together. All that is making her realize that she needs to get her family back on track too, and maybe they could help each other through that. Tanya asks Andrea if she sees herself getting back with Chris. Andrea says she doesn't know. She loves him, but he needs to make some changes. Tanya says Nico wasn't there for their first child, but she knows that he will be there for their daughter. Andrea asks Tanya if she talked to Nico. She says yes, and he asked about their unborn baby and about their son. Andrea asks Tanya if she wants to be in a relationship with Nico. Tanya says that she doesn't want a relationship with him, and she just wants Nico to be a consistent dad. She says she didn't make her kids by herself, so she's not going to take care of them by herself. The ladies go shopping at some markets before they go back on the ship. Some fans of Miss Juicy run up to her, hug her, and take some pictures with her, along with a few of the ladies. They order some coconut drinks. The twins negotiate with a vendor over the price of a backpack that they want to buy. Minnie helps them negotiate. The ladies get back on the boat, and it's their last night on the cruise. Amanda thanks the ladies for going with them on the cruise. Tanya calls Devon to see if Nico actually visited her son Jaden. She gets to see her daughter Luna on video chat. Tanya asks Devon if Nico visited Jaden. Devon says that Nico says he wanted to take Jaden somewhere. I couldn't understand what Nico was saying, but by the way Tanya is reacting, I can tell that Nico did not make an effort to visit his son. In the commentary, Tanya says that she and Nico need to work something out, because in the end, it's the kids who are going to be hurt. The ladies attend the gig that the twins are hosting on the cruise ship. The ladies do a good job hosting the gig. They do some dancing and some drinking, and then Minnie asks a man at the party if he wants to dance with her. And then they dance together. Then a guy asks Sam to dance, and she turns him down. In the commentary, Sam says that it's not her style just to dance with random guys. Sam tells Tanya that she feels bad for turning the man down. In the commentary, Tanya says that when you're a little person, it's hard to know if somebody is really into you or if you're just a fetish. Then, Minnie and the man that she was dancing with leave the gig, and the ladies see them walking out, which can cause someone to assume that they're probably going to one of their rooms. Money says what happens in the Bahamas stays in the Bahamas. The next day, the ladies meet up to prepare to leave the cruise ship. All the ladies except for Minnie. And then, Minnie comes into the lobby and meets up with the girls. And she brought the man that she danced with the night before. Then he says that she's not gonna kiss and tell them what happened. I don't think anything really happened. They probably just went to the bar, got a drink, chatted, and nothing else. They just added that in. That's just fake. I just know that it's fake. Back in Atlanta, Juicy and Sam visit Tanya at her house. They mention how Minnie probably hooked up with that guy that she met at the gig. Tanya mentions how she's going to be celibate for the rest of her pregnancy, so it's just her. Then, Juicy tells Tanya that it's just her, Nico, and Devon. Tanya tells Juicy not to mess with her, and she says that she's not sleeping with anybody. Sam asks Tanya if Nico has been around since he's been expressing wanting to be there for his kids. Tanya says when she texts him, he doesn't respond. When she calls him, he doesn't respond. But when she's not present, he's talking about her to Devon. Tanya says if they need to talk about something, they should talk about the kids. She says she doesn't know what Nico's motives are. Sam says that she thinks that Nico is trying to get Devon against her. Tanya says that she's tired of being the topic of discussion. And unless Nico was talking about helping her pay some bills, then he shouldn't be talking about her. She says the last time she talked to Nico, she asked him why was he mad about Devon moving in with her. Tanya says that Nico doesn't want her, but he doesn't want anybody to have her either. Juicy asks Tanya what she's going to do. Tanya says that she thinks that she should sit down and talk with Nico and Devon at the same time, since she doesn't like being the middleman. She doesn't know how it's going to go down, but something needs to get done. In the next scene, the twins meet with their entertainment manager to talk about their future with the Tiny Twins. The twins said that they had a better experience at their last gig. The manager says that the cruise line loved having them on their ship. The manager points out how Andrea wanted to go home to her kids. Andrea said she doesn't want her kids to be separate, but she's not sure about traveling. Andrea says that her being away from her kids, her daughter being with her parents in Texas, and having to separate them when she gets back is overwhelming for her. She doesn't want them to be separated. The manager says she understands that she doesn't want to travel anymore, but she can't promise that all their gigs will be in Atlanta or Dallas. Amanda says Andrea is trying to say that she wants to move back to Dallas. In the commentary, Andrea says she wants to go to Dallas, but she doesn't want to let her sister down. The manager asks Andrea if there are any doctors in Atlanta who can treat her son as well as the ones in Dallas. Andrea says that her son's doctors treated her and her sister when they were young, so he can't leave them. The manager says that if Andrea decides not to do event hostings anymore, people are going to want the Tiny Twins, and that's a problem. If they break off, there could be no coming back from that. In the final scene of the episode, Money and Moreland go to a restaurant. Money tells Moreland a few things that happened on the cruise, and she says that she was on her best behavior. Moreland says that he's proud of her for that. Money asks Moreland what does it take for her to show him that she's ready for a wedding. Moreland says that Money has made big improvements, but he needs to see more. Money says that she's changed for the better. Moreland says that he's not going to rush and get another engagement ring for Money, but when he does, he wants to make sure that she learned her lesson and is more responsible. Money asks Moreland if he still wants to get married. Moreland says that he doesn't know and he needs to see. He gives Money credit for doing what she's supposed to do, but he doesn't want to rush. And he wants to make sure that they do everything in a sufficient amount of time. Money says that she just wants to know if the wedding is back on. Moreland says he can see it happening in the future. Then Money says that she needs to know. Moreland says he loves Money and he can see it happening. Then Money asks Moreland if the wedding is back on, and Moreland says if Money keeps on behaving like she's been doing. Money asks Moreland why can't he be straight up with her. Moreland says that life isn't that simple. He wants to make sure that everything is the way it should be, and they'll be able to plan something soon. And that's the end of the episode. Looks like the ladies had a good time at the Bahamas, I would love to go to the Bahamas someday. That's, like I said in the last video, that's my dream vacation. I thought it was kind of nice seeing Tanya comfort and reassure Andrea, since they have familiar situations when it comes to their kids and stuff. And when Andrea left the table crying, I saw Tanya look at her and like put her hand on her chest, like said it hit her in her heart because she has felt her pain before. I think Andrea is making good decisions. She's out there making that money, making it possible to provide for her kids. Juicy said, everybody doesn't understand Andrea's situation. They just look at it as, oh, your parents are taking care of your kid and your kid is away from you for a long time while you do party hostings and stuff. But I don't think Andrea is going to be able to take it anymore. She just can't stand being away from her kids. And about Tanya's situation with Nico, I don't think that Tanya should be expecting Nico to be there for their second kid. He wasn't there for their first. What makes you think he's going to change and be there for the second? You never know. Maybe he will be there. Maybe it's because he's on TV. He's worried about what people think of him. If I'm not a supportive father, I'm gonna look bad, so I'd better be there, and I'd better visit my son. I follow Nico on Facebook. Yeah, and he's posted like a couple of pictures of him and Jaden. He's like, out with my son today. So I guess he has been spending some time with his son. Maybe being on reality TV made him worried about how he looks, He doesn't want people to think that he's a bad father. I don't really have a lot to say about this episode. I think it's just self-explanatory, I don't have a lot of commentary. Next episode is the season finale of Little Women Atlanta. Then after that, I'm sure they're going to have at least one reunion episode. So, I don't have anything else to say in this video, so I'll just wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Sorry if you thought it was a little boring since I didn't have as much commentary this time. Follow me on Twitter at ILUMoreThanThis. Subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. and I will see you guys next time. Bye!